All right, great to see everybody. Appreciate you being here. Saw you out of practice. I assume that you guys appreciate the fact that you're on the close field and you were in the shade, right? You get a thumbs up on that from some of you guys? Okay, cool. Yeah, that was Chad's call, so very cool. To start off, I want to wish Purnell and his family our deepest condolences for the passing of his grandmother, Layla. Purnell and Grandma Layla were really close all throughout Purnell's life, and they're dealing with that right now. So just condolences to them, best wishes. She will rest in God's good hands for eternity now, and I know that's where Purnell's and her faith is. So what questions do you have?
Start off with Jerry Coleman.
Oh, wow, I didn't know you were coming right to me. Coach, have had a chance to watch Rob Ryan in action a few times. Haven't had a chance to ask you about him. I know it's early, but what type of flavor does he bring to the coaching staff and to the linebackers room?
Yeah, I mean, Rob's a guy that is just a very, very excellent football coach, one of the best in the business defensively. He's had tremendous responsibility over many years. We go back a long way in terms of coaching connections and family connections and working together. We're working with Rex and, of course, with Don and all that. So we've talked a lot of football over the years, and I'm just very, very grateful that he's a part of our staff. I think the players are seeing what a good job he does and how experienced he is and how energetic he is and all of it. He's just an excellent football coach and bringing some things to us schematically as well, of course. So, yeah, it's going really well.
Jameson.
Hey, John, with the addition of Juwan James, it's kind of unusual when a team signs someone who just had an Achilles injury a few months ago. How would you characterize kind of the plan for him with the Raiders?
Well, I think it's a great signing. I'm just very, very pleased to have him, and he's a highly decorated player. He's been sat out 1 year, obviously, had the injury before, now another injury, so it's a tough set of circumstances for him. But from what I understand, he's very determined to get himself healthy again and get back to playing at the highest level. That injury there, the Achilles injury, is one that, he could foresee, it's good possibility that he could be back this year even, November, December, maybe. So that's not something, I wouldn't say we're counting on that, but it's certainly something that you know is possible. I mean, Terrell Suggs had the same kind of an injury, same kind of timing, and got back in November that year, as I recall. So we'll just see what happens, but it's always good to have another good player who's a really good person and a hard-working guy, and we're happy to have him.
Charles Walker.
Yeah, hey, John. We saw that Rashod Bateman wasn't out there today. Is there any injury concern with him or anything going on?
Yeah, this guy's dealing with things. He had some tenderness and some tightness, from all the running he's been doing. And Marquise, the same thing. He's had some muscle-type issues. So, those guys are going through that. We've had other guys, especially the receivers and the DBs. They do a lot of running, so that comes up a little bit in this heat.
Pete Gilbert.
Hey, John. When you see someone like Gus Edwards arriving as an undrafted free agent, and so many come here and never get that far. To get to this point, you got a contract. What does that mean to you? And what does that say about him? Well,
it means a lot. I mean, he's a guy that we all root for, and he came in as an undrafted free agent. He had to work his way, in from the bottom, to the practice squad. Obviously, he's played some special teams for us. And then, what he's done as a running back for the last 3 years is pretty remarkable. I think he's a really good fit in our offense, and he understands that. He's just a really good fit also in our personality as a football team. We appreciate him and the way he plays, the way he carries himself. So just really most deserving guy. And to see that and have that kind of security now going forward for his family, as a coach, it's pretty rewarding. So very happy for him and expecting nothing but the best from him going forward as a football player.
Bobby Trossett.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. Sorry, I just got interrupted there. J.K. Dobbins, what are you seeing so far from a pass-catching standpoint?
I think he's made strides. That's been one of the main points of emphasis has been to involve our running backs in the passing game more going forward here in this offseason. And J.K. obviously is going to be a focal point of that. Of course, Justice, and Gus does what he does in the passing game. But I think J.K. and Justice, specifically, that's what they should be really good at. That should be a big part of their toolkit. So they've both done a great job. And, you mentioned J.K. He had some catches today out there. So, yeah, that's something that we want to emphasize and continue to improve at.
Jeff Rebeck.
Hey, John, I know these workouts are voluntary. We haven't seen Andre Smith out here. We didn't see him last year, obviously, for the COVID opt-out. Is he still in the team's plans, or could he still be a factor in that OL mix come training camp?
Sure, he could. I mean, it's hard for me to answer that more specifically, Jeff, just because of what you said. It's just we haven't really had him out here, so I don't know any more than that. And we'll just have to see going forward. I understand he's working hard. I've texted with him a few times. And so we'll just have to see how that plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Luke.
Hey, John. Obviously, Patrick Queen's someone who played a lot last year as a first-round pick, did a lot of good things. But him having this spring now that he didn't have as a rookie, how have you seen him benefit and grow during this period of time?
Just tremendous opportunity for these guys. I mean, to your point, all these reps that we're getting, and you see it in the passing game, the pass skeletons, the half line type things that we do that are teaching periods, repetition periods, those are immensely valuable, especially at a position like inside backer where you're in the middle of everything and things are always moving fast around you and you have to make, split second type of reaction type decisions. So it's been great for him. It's been great for Malik, all of our guys, Chris Board. LJ's more experienced, but it's been great for all those guys.
Sean.
Hey, John, Michael Schofield, what does he bring to the offensive line? And I mean, how nice is it to add such a veteran presence to that group?
It's great. Another Michigan man, too. So Bredesen and I were enjoying that out there today. And so great to have him on board. But, yeah, just another veteran lineman that really knows how to play. He understands the game. He's got a physicality to him. Big Ten type of offensive lineman. You appreciate the mindset and the style. And, we'll just see where it goes from here. But I do like the fact that we're bringing in guys that kind of, embrace our style of play up front and are very smart and, experienced players.
All right, we'll do two more. We'll do Jamison and then close it out with Garrett.
Hey, John, we've seen in the past when players are in their contract years, they sometimes don't attend these voluntary camps. What do you think it says about for Mark Andrews to be out here for the past few weeks when, again, some other players might opt to take a different route?
Yeah, I don't know about the comparisons, but, Mark is out here. He looks really good. He's practiced very well. I told him today, I really feel like he's running routes the best that I've seen him run routes since he's been here. And very crisp and very sharp and explosive and all of it. So, yeah, I'm just happy that he's here. I think it's just an opportunity for us to improve as a team and each player to improve individually as a player, and he's doing that.
Coach, you had a couple weeks to see Sammy Watkins. Now, what has stood out to you about him in terms of how he looks in this offense?
Yeah, he looks good. I mean, he's big and he's fast, and he's got good hands and he's a veteran guy. And I think the thing I've noticed about him is he really is a student of the game. He really wants to improve his game. He's very much a stickler for the fundamentals and for pushing himself on the fundamentals, in and out of routes, angles, eyes, hands, hand placement. All that stuff has just been something that he works at. He asks a lot of questions of his coaches. He always wants to know what he can do better. Boy, you see that in the guy. He's only 27, 28 years old. I feel like, I'm very hopeful that there's a lot of, even maybe his best football is still in front of him going forward. And he's young enough for that to be the case.